I am Saras Pandey. This is SQL Depository and welcome to PowerShell Beginner to Advanced Part 2. If you haven't watched Part 1 yet, then I would recommend to watch Part 1 first and then come back to this video. You can find the link of Part 1 at the top of this video. So without wasting any time, let's start. So in the last session, I've already explained about get service and get help. Then, I've also introduced this pipe in the last part, right? So I'm going to use this pipe now, and then I'll tell you what else we can do using this, using the output of some command. And there are lots of other stuff that we can do. Okay. So in this command, I have get service command, and I'm fetching the service detail for MS SQL Server service. Okay, and then the output of this command is being transferred to the right side of the command, which is stop service. Stop service is used to stop the service. Whatever Windows service you have, you can use this command to stop that service. Okay, but after that I'm using a parameter which is hyphen what if. So what exactly this parameter does is it will not perform the actual action, but it will just tell you if you'll run this command, then what exactly it will do. So let me go ahead and execute this command. And you can see that it says that what if performing the operation stop service on target SQL Server MS SQL Server service. Okay, so it is telling you that if you will run this command without the what if parameter, then it will stop the MS SQL Server service. So if you are not sure at any given point that if whatever command you have written is going to perform the exactly same action that you want, then you can always use what if. It will not run the actual command, but it will just tell you what exactly it will do if you'll run the command. So it is very powerful parameter, and it is very good parameter for the beginners, especially so that you will not perform any wrong action, especially when you are working on the production environment. So what if is your friend when you are learning PowerShell, right? Okay, so in this command, what I'm doing is I'm first getting fetching the detail of MS SQL service, and then I'm transferring the detail to stop service command, and then I'm stopping the service. The other way to do it is you can directly write stop service command and then run this stop service command for MS SQL Server service, and it will stop the service. Okay, but what if I'll execute this command right now? Okay, so it has stopped the service because I've already stopped all the dependent service, but there could be dependent services as well. If there is any dependent service, which is the case for MS SQL service, but dependent service is already stopped right now. So let me go ahead and start all the dependent services first and MS SQL service also. And then I'll try to stop the service again, and let's see what exactly it will do. Okay, so I'm going to write the command, which is start hyphen service, or let me just check what are the different SQL Server services available on my laptop. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll do a get service. So get service will fetch the detail of the services, whatever service you will choose. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a wildcard card search for SQL. So it will return all the service which contains SQL in its name. Okay. So let me go ahead and execute this. So I can see a couple of services here. So I can see SQL Server Agent service, and then there are a couple of other services. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start MS SQL Server service. Oops. Okay, so and then I'm gonna start the dependent service also, which is nothing but the agent service. So the name of the agent service is SQL Server Agent. So I'm gonna change the service name to SQL Server Agent. And okay, now this service is also started. Now if I'll run the exactly same command, which is stop service MS SQL Server, then what exactly it will do. So let's go ahead and execute the command. And you can see that, okay, I have not selected the entire command. Let me select the entire command first. Okay, so it says cannot stop service SQL Server, MS SQL Server, because it has dependent services. Okay, so when it has dependent services, then you have couple of options. First, you can first stop the dependent service and then try to stop this service. This is one of the thing, but you can also use one parameter, which is force parameter. Okay, so if you use this parameter, then in that case, what it will do, it will force the service to be stopped. So in that case, all the dependent services will also be stopped automatically. Okay, so here I have written the same command, which is more or less same, because here directly I'm giving, passing the information of the service name in the stop service command, and here I'm getting for the detail first, and then using the using pipe, and then I'm trying to stop the service. But both are same, so you can use you can opt any way to stop the service. And let me go ahead and execute this command, or let me execute the same command, so that just for the clarity. Okay, so this time if I'll execute this command, it will stop all the dependent services as well, and then it will stop MS SQL service also. And if you want to verify, you can just go ahead and run this command again, and you can see that SQL Server agent service is now stopped. Okay, so this is how you can stop a service which has the dependent services. And if you're not sure whatever action you are performing is the valid action or not, then you can always use what if parameter, and you can confirm if the command that you have written is going to perform the correct action or not. Okay, so I'm going ahead and going to start the service again. So now what I'm doing is I'm using the get service command for MS SQL Server, and then I'm using the pipe and then start service. If I'll execute this command, it will start SQL Server, MS SQL Server service, but it won't start the dependent service, because for SQL service, in order to stop the SQL service, you have to stop the agent service. But in order to start the SQL service, it is not mandatory that agent service should be started. So there are a couple of other services also that has the dependent services. So if you'll get try to get all the information about the any service, you will get the information about the dependent services as well. So just for an example, let me check where exactly I can get the the detail of all the dependent service. So what if I'll do get service MS SQL Server, and then a pipe, and then select object property, and let me give an asterisk, and let me execute this. So it has couple of details here, and you can see a property which is dependent service, and it clearly says that SQL Server agent service is dependent on this service. So this is where you can get the information of all the dependent service on any particular service. Okay, so and this property you can use is very useful when you are playing with the services. You might have to fetch this property value sometimes to perform any action, which will be part of the next videos, but not part of this particular video. Okay, so force I have already explained, but what if you have written a script, and you want to user to confirm first if they are sure they want to take this action or not, then you can use this parameter, which is confirm parameter. So if I'll execute this command now with the confirm parameter, it will ask me, are you sure you want to perform this action? Okay, if you are performing multiple action and you are sure you want to go ahead, then you can click yes to all, or if you want to go one by one, you can click yes. And right now I only have one command, so if I'll click on yes, it will also do the same thing. So let me go ahead and click yes, and it will stop the service for me. Okay, and this thing I've already explained, like if you have any service and you want to know about something and you want it on the different window, then you can run the command with with window parameter, and it will open the command details, all the all the help for that command in the different window, which has the which has the search box, which has the capability to zoom, and which has the couple of settings. So this is a good way to learn if you want to learn any command. Okay, now how exactly you will perform the search if you know what exactly you want to do, but you don't know the exact command. Suppose you know that you want the information about the disk space, and so what exactly you'll do first? The first thing that you should do is, if you know it is about the disk space, then maybe you can use the wildcard search with get help, and you can write get help asterisk disk space asterisk, and then you can execute this, and you have got 3 commands back. So it says get disk space, get DBA disk space, and measure DBA disk space requirement. Okay, so I believe get disk space and get DBA disk space both are the commands will return the disk space details for you. But DBA disk space is part of different module, which is DBA tools module. If you don't have that module installed on your laptop, then if you'll run this command, it will throw the error. But get disk space command, it will be available if you have PowerShell installed. Then so you can always use this command. Okay, so get this space. If I'll run this command, okay, so what I've got now. So I've got the computer name, I've got the drive name, I've got the label, I've got the capacity, free, % free, block size. So it's a powerful command if you want to monitor the disk space, right? And similarly, get the DBA disk space also will return you the similar kind of result. So if you have DBA tools module installed, then you can go ahead and use the DBA tool modules module and use that command. Okay, let me clear the screen first, and then now as I've already discussed about DBA tool module, so there are many other modules available in PowerShell. If you want to install any particular module in your laptop or desktop, then how exactly you can do that? So the first thing that you should do, you should check all the commands which contain module in its name. So the command, you can get all the command for using get command and then you can do a wildcard search for module. If you'll do that, as I have lots of modules installed, so you'll get too many commands back. Okay, but in your case, you will definitely get less number of commands as you have other modules not installed. Okay, so one thing that if you'll see what you want to do, you want to install a module, right? So if you look at all the commands here, then there are a couple of commands that you will see, and you can identify that this command could be useful. Like there is one command which is import module, and there must be another command which is install module, and it will be somewhere here only. So here it is. So install module. So if you want to check which module I should use, is it import module or install module? Which one is it? So what you can do, you can learn about import module and install module and using get help, and you can also use show window parameter, and it will give you the information about the module. So what it does is add modules to current session. But if you want to permanently keep the module so that you can use this module anytime, then this is not the command for you. Okay, let me go ahead and close this, and same thing if I do for install module, and you can see it downloads one or more modules from an online gallery and install them on the local computer. So it will install that module on your local computer. So whenever you want, you can use that module. So this is your guy right now if you want to do this. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I've written a command install module named DBA tools. So you can run this module and make sure you have opened the PowerShell using administrator access, so that it will not block any activity, right? So if you'll do that, I already have DBA tools module installed, so I don't have to perform this action now. But if you'll run this command, it will download the module for you, And also it will install the module on your local computer. So after that, you can use all the commands which comes under DBA2 module. Okay, so this is the way you can install the module on your local computer. So this is what I wanted to cover in this video. And as always, thanks for watching.